Mic check 1, 2. All right, how are you guys doing? Good morning. This is Mr. Wilfred. I'm hoping that everybody's staying happy, healthy, and safe throughout this whole process. I want to challenge you 7th graders to begin to do a Throwback Thursday assignment, which is not complicated. Tomorrow what we'll do is I'll put out your lesson for your next lesson in Unit 9. I know we're transitioning from Unit 8 to Unit 9. There was no solid unit test between the two. And the reason is because I felt these two units really go hand in hand. So the quiz that I gave regarding dot plots and box plots is counted as the the summary of the whole unit. And then we're transitioning into Unit 9, which is really analyzing data. So I'm going to give you the next lesson on analyzing data tomorrow. But for today, let's take a second to just practice interpreting box plots. I'm going to do an example. Obviously, when we do Throwback Thursday assignments, you can remember that the lesson will be on Deltamath, or the assignment is going to be on Deltamath, whereas normally you would have a worksheet that's attached. But however, you need to make sure you go on Deltamath and complete the 5 questions that I gave you for today. I'm going to do one example with you. I'm going to use my 4-period classes portal. I'm hoping that you completed Throwback Thursday Monday, 4:20, Throwback Thursday 4:15, 4:08. Almost every single week we've had one. As you can see, even all the way up to March 19th. So that's the first one that we gave. Well, March 19th was actually right before everything happened that one was due. We already had that one in the works. But all the rest of these Throwback Thursday ones, please keep them complete because that counts as your classwork. All right. In addition, probably also that's your homework. I'm not really sure how I've been grading them in yet. But let me walk you through one of these interpreting box plots so that way you can be able to go and complete the others. And mine obviously looks like a bunch of zeros here. You guys have been doing really good with completing these Deltamath assignments, and I'm very proud of you guys for what you've been doing. So let's look at this example. It says a box and whisker plot. Like I told you guys, it has another name known box and whisker, not just box plot. It's represented below. You can see there's some data on it. What is the value of the first quartile? So they want to know what is the first quartile of this data. And this is very important, especially for the lesson we're going to talk about tomorrow, which is talking about calculating something called interquartile ranges. So you need to know what is the first quartile, what is the third quartile. And we've gone over that as well. So when I look at this box plot, I should be able to understand that it is broken up into data segments, right? It's broken up into data segments, whereas, hold on one second. Let me make sure I have my pen here, right? Where I know that this is the minimum, right? We should all be able to identify this is the minimum of the data. Okay. We should also be able to identify the max of the data, which is over here, right? This is the max of the data. Okay. Okay. This is a good overview I'm going to do because I don't know what question they may ask you later on in your Deltamath assignment. So minimum, maximum. You should identify that this line in the middle is actually indicating the median number or the middle number, right? We talked about median a couple times. You should be able to identify that that's the median, okay? And then you have 2 other lines here, right? Remember, a box plot consists of 5 data points. So we have 1, 2, 3, and then you'll see that there's a line here that we need to identify. And that there's a line here.
Yeah, because you can do it now, right?
We need to identify.
That's so cool,
okay?
Right?
Yeah.
He's like, I can wear it now, Mommy.
Oh, yes, he can.
It goes out, right? Like that? Like that?
Okay, great. I'm so sorry. Great. So let's keep going. So these 2 lines also have values set, right? You should recognize that this one is actually quartile 1, right? And that's meant to be a Q. I'm going to put Q1 here, right? And this one over here is meant to be Q3. Now remember, the median is also known as quartile 2. However, it may not be referred to as quartile 2 throughout this Deltamath assignment, but it's good for you to also know that the median is also quartile 2. Okay, so these are your 5 data points. They want to know what is the value of the first quartile, and that's pretty simple now that we can look at it. We can say, okay, we know quartile 1 is right here. What is that data value? That data value is 50. So the 50 is my quartile 1. Now, what you should also be able to understand is they may be able to ask you, what is the range? That means you would take the max minus the min, right? I don't know if they're going to ask you about interquartile range. If they do ask you about interquartile range, skip over that one. And that way I could, until we go over. Or you can even look at the example and it will break down how to calculate the interquartile range before I do it tomorrow. That way you also have a jump start on being able to do that as well. Okay? So that's what you're going to be able to do. You calculate some data, you submit it, boom, you're good to go. All right? Let me do one more with you just to see what they may ask as the next follow-up question. All right, this one is asking you for the maximum. As we talked about before, this line down here is the min, this line down here is the max. All right, so you can be able to identify max. Now pay attention that these numbers, right, they all go on by ones here. I don't know, maybe they might go by twos. But make sure you count them to pay attention to what you're doing, okay? This is going by one, so 21, 22, that means the max here is 22, okay? Right, and that's how you would go about completing this. It's very simple. It's not complicated, but feel free to rewatch it. Feel free to hit some of the examples at the top. And I do plan on making the videos come soon where you can actually watch some lesson videos on these if you don't understand my video or if I don't put up a video as well. Okay? Thank you guys so much for logging in, listening to the video today. I hope it was meaningful. I hope you're able to complete your Deltamath assignment. Thank you so much. See you later. Bye-bye.